here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about the market being extremely in the red. Unfortunately, another downturn. Unfortunately, even more uncertainty in the market that is pushing the crypto prices lower. And obviously, there is a reason for it, a concerning reason, but it needs to be addressed. So make sure to stay tuned all the way through here. Okay, so let's jump right into the action with the Bitcoin price, with the Bitcoin chart here, and we see that we had even a little bit of an overreaction here to the downside that is being eaten up to 100 and back to 102,000. That is a very swift dip of 6.8% almost. And I mean, the reason for that is clear for everyone who has watched or looked into the news. Unfortunately, we have to talk about stuff like this as well, as it influences the market. So what happened is that apparently, and also Iran confirmed that the underground nuclear facility in Natanz has been bombed. Yeah, and not only that, but Israel did strike several targets in Iran, killing high-ranking leaders, as it seems, and that obviously with airstrikes, by the way, just so it was in the air, not on ground forces or anything, but that obviously then now has created the uncertainty in the market that people are expecting a big retaliation, and that's spiraling into a war. And that has direct economic impact. It's not the direct impact maybe that you press sell on your Bitcoin, but the overall market has such reactions to get out of certain positions. On the other hand, we also see that such a looming potential war or potential longer escalation has a direct impact in this area, specifically on the oil price. So we had already seen the oil price moving in literal straight line higher, now above $72. I think if I saw it correctly, last update here on Kobayashi letter was $77 on crude oil. We can also, I think, just take a chart and pull that up. Let's see if we find crude oil futures. Let's see, what's the oil? Crude oil, if I put it like this. I mean, these are the futures. I don't know, mini futures, pumping. What? Maybe I have to go to crude. It should be like this, right? It should be crude oil only, but there isn't. Okay. Oil. Petroleum Corporation. I don't know. If anyone knows the ticker for oil, let me know. But oil is going nuts. Maybe we can see it on one of the screenshots here. Let me check that out. Okay, so that's an index or something like that, right? Crude oil WTI, is that it? But that bottom line is it's pumping because of that situation, right? I mean, we see here also the updates on that. Yeah, for the last hour. So this is 3 hours ago, and at the same time we see the S&P 500 and so on stock market going lower, obviously on those fears, right? So yeah, we this is something that we can S&P 5 SPX. There we go. Actually, have to go on the daily to see something. Actually, we don't see anything here, right? It's not because it didn't open. It didn't open, only pre-markets. It didn't open since this happened. Let me quickly go on the CNBC also here. Hello. There we go. Yeah, here we got it. Israel attacks Iran. Airstrike killed armed forces and Revolutionary Guard chiefs. Main price, oil price surge 9%. Heels of Israeli strikes set for largest single day gains in about 5 years. What else do we see? India moves to tap its massive rare earth reserves. Okay. There was this plane crash also yesterday. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw it, and then saw that someone actually survived that. That's nuts. Basically, here we see it, right? Asia, red. US didn't get this was after US opening. So we will see Germany will open in the next hour. So let's see how the market reacts and how this continues, because this has the potential to cause more pain temporarily. I still believe that in the end, like the short term, in the end will not be influenced that much or decouple that much from the M2 correlation that we have. We see it here. We have already been up here at 110,000. Now we're down here on the week. Going to the month, we see basically this resulted in some kind of indecision candle, up or down, but we also still have 17 days left. So if we see that it's not going complete outright war, then maybe we just recover quickly to 110k and then go beyond. We will see if that's a possibility. But so far so good. That's the reason why we have this red, and it's likely to continue today, tomorrow, maybe in the next days. We will see. Okay. Then some positive news here from the Bitcoin side, and that is publicly traded gold miner Bluebird Mining just announced to do Bitcoin mining as well. So gold miner goes into Bitcoin mining. That shows already that they are also prepared, right, to make the shift from gold to Bitcoin. And then we'll see over the long run, investors might want to do the shift, and that would bring trillions to Bitcoin, giving it still the potential to many, many multiples in the future, right? So they're preferring digital gold. Also, another one, Brazil's strategic Bitcoin reserve bill passed the first committee. So also in Brazil, Brazil had already traditionally been embracing crypto more than other countries, but now now that's also happening. Peter Schiff is fuming. Yeah, absolutely. And then we have lastly 142 billion Shopify, the integrator for building your online shops very quickly. They just partnered with Coinbase to enable crypto payments, and that leads us also directly to the topic of Coinbase. Enable crypto payments They have 5.5 million merchants that all can use those crypto payments then, right? So that is really good for Shopify. So I think that's basically, that's how mass adoption in the end happens, right? You can get paid in crypto. You can accept crypto on your small online web shop or big online web shop, whatever. But the integrators, they make it possible, right? So they offer USDC and whatever, like stablecoin, but also Bitcoin transaction and so on. So really, really good. And that brings me already to a topic in the altcoin space, and it's post from Ecomi, but it's rather about Coinbase in general, so it's valid for MCAT and so on as well. But Ecomi posted here, OMI fam, welcome to Coinbase. The token, this is not a Coinbase listing, okay? The token that powers where the world collects will soon be available on the platform, bringing the next billion users on chain. Every user, anytime. So let's see what the original post is, right? So Coinbase says here, our asset universe is about to get a whole lot bigger. DEX trading is coming. Today, Coinbase users can trade hundreds of assets, but soon you'll be able to trade thousands of base assets within moments of them going live, all within the Coinbase app. So that means that basically this is a OMI, MCAT, whatever it has moved to base listing on the Coinbase app for trading. Is that the same like official Coinbase listing? I don't know, but if everyone can just buy and sell them in this app, maybe it's similar, and that is really, really good, right? Let's listen to the video quickly as well, just for completeness.
That's why today I'm incredibly excited to share with you that we will be integrating decentralized exchanges from Base directly into the main Coinbase app, enabling Coinbase users to access and trade millions of assets on-chain as soon as they're created directly in the same safe and trusted Coinbase app they already use.
Okay, there we hear it. So, but I was just thinking while that what I said or speculated, and I'd say no, it's not the same, because they create a DEX so that they don't have to go through the process of analyzing, permitting, and listing all these coins. So they just give them a DEX so that these coins can be traded already. But it's not the same as an official Coinbase listing where Coinbase says, hey, this token is good to go on this exchange in the US with us as custodian, whatever, right? So it's not the same, but it will permit volume nonetheless, right? I think in general, Ecomi should be tradable on all DEXs in that form anyways, like Uniswap and here on Base and so on, right? It should be moved everywhere so that it can be traded completely on decentralized exchange. But it's nice. It's a very, very good development for Ecomi, right? So let's look at the chart. If that did anything for OMI, but probably not because of the other situation, right? I think it actually did not do anything for OMI. Here we see it. This is the zone that we are in basically, and it seems that we are just returning our way down to 0.00219. But nonetheless, it's these are good news. We will see once it takes effect, right? Because just because someone says it doesn't create a volume. It needs to be enabled, right? When it's enabled, it's there. So interesting. Let's say what's interesting or going to be interesting is whether we will stop seeing this one day where we pump and then we get sold off immediately. We didn't see a pump out of this, so this is new, I would say. But let's see if this level holds. We have it now since basically we are in this range since March, end of March, April, May, and now all the June. Sideways in this small range, locked, maybe being traded, trade locked. We are waiting for the big whales to make their move and break the price out. So there we go. Hey, so let's go quickly to the chat here. Adam says, we have Mewtwo in the house. Let's begin at the very beginning. We have a lot of rare hodlers in the house. That's great. Make sure to smash up the like button there for the rare hodler fam. So, what's up, Mewtwo? We have Adam in the house. Integration, maybe. Yes. Easier trading is great. Yes. And Trucking Hank. This is great content, folks. Smash up the like button. Thank you very much, Trucking Hank, for that. And we have also Roman in the house. Good morning to you. And Divinder Singh. Awesomeness Redefined. Saw your. Thank you for that. And let's check out. Let's check out a little bit. Let's see what the OMI channel posted besides that, if there's anything. So because we have this post. This is, by the way, what I meant all the time. Like, man, you have to post about this. And I think before the lawsuit, they just did not use stuff like this, right, to get visibility. But now they do. So this post from Ecomi, this retweet, has 36,000 views, which is really good. So, and they're also posting about Stacker and so on here, right? So, again, they posted a reminder for the burns, right? So, did you know every transaction Stacker World Marketplace contains a buyer's fee of 2%, which permanently removes OMI from circulating supply? Users can complete the Vivo official collections of their dreams powered exclusively by OMI. What will you collect? And we did see that a while ago, or yesterday, 2 days ago, someone bought Miles Morales Spider-Man for 30 million OMI, and hence contributing to the burn of OMI, right? And I think that needs now more push to adoption, and that users are slowly but surely buying and selling and trading and flipping and so on with OMI on Stacker. So yeah, so now so let's talk about alts here, because I see some worry in the chat. Alts have been dead all year. And Roman says, bro, do you think the bull run is still in the game, or we are out for the cycle? I think it's still in the game. I don't think that. So first of all, it sounds like a big deal that we have Iran and Israel going at each other, okay? But even if you remember Ukraine, Russia, and so on, it's temporarily red, and then everyone gets used to it, and then things continue according to their macro premises, right? I still think that an altcoin run will happen. For the following reasons. So let me quickly search this for you again. Like, everyone is posting about it. Global M2. Okay, so this is still valid. In these times where things go down, everyone doubts global M2, right? So where is it? Let's find a good one, because there's a lot of bullshit charts like this, right? That's not the right chart. This one is more accurate, right? So we're following this more or less, right? So you see, sometimes you decouple a little bit. Here, you see it also took a while until we get. So we pumped when M2 was already going down and we went down. Same can happen here, right? We can go a little bit down and then we follow it again. This is the first thing, right? First thing, okay, M2, is it still alive? Yes, M2 points to 130, 140, whatever, thousand. That's the first part for Bitcoin, right? Okay, altcoins now. But leading up to altcoins, the DXY, so the DXY, the dollar strength, the dollar measured against a basket of other coins, is pointing down, has just lost critical support. And if you go into the weekly, you can even see that we have ourselves a sweet, nice little bearish retest here, and now going lower again, right? And we do have core inflation data bullishly coming in, right? So actual 2.8, forecast 2.9, right? So we came in better in June, 11th of June than expected, right? So yeah, we are looking at some point at the Fed lowering the rate, and that would add to the bullish fuel, in my opinion. That is it. Now, Bitcoin dominance, okay? Bitcoin dominance is, this is the whole Bitcoin dominance trajectory. We basically have here our markers, our turning point for alt season, right? Here, and here, somewhere here, right? So we don't know yet how far we go. Will we go all the way back up here? This is the Bitcoin dominance. So as long as Bitcoin is the main narrative, Bitcoin will outperform the altcoins. Altcoins get wrecked. And that is the case right now. We are almost at 65%. You can see it also in the news. It's Bitcoin, strategic reserve. Everything that we talked about today was Bitcoin, right? So we have a bluebird going from gold into Bitcoin mining, okay? So it's Bitcoin, it's not altcoin or whatever. We do have Brazil passing strategic reserve for Bitcoin, right? Or not passing to the committee, not passing to total. But, okay, there are some news like the Coinbase thing that are actually good for certain altcoins or for altcoins, right? But we need to reach the point where Bitcoin rallied enough so that people feel confident to take profit and roll it into altcoins. And that is where this happens, right? There's no reason why it shouldn't happen, but there's also no reason why it has to happen within a specific 4-year time frame. Okay, so here our alt season started 1st of January 2021 and ended somewhere in May 21. If we would put a 4-year cycle on this, we should have gone into altcoin season January 2025 and ended it in May 2025. We did not. But also, in that time, last time around, our bull market was going in roughly a 4-year time frame. And this time, as far as I'm concerned at least, it's still on, as we are still putting in all-time highs, right? In May, we still put in a new all-time high. Whereas our last peak here, a second, like our true indicator peak was in April 2021, okay? So we should have topped out April 2021, we did not. So we have this false top here. Okay, so if you go with false top theory, then you are November 2021. That would be November 2025, exactly 4 years. Okay, so then we have time until November for Bitcoin, but then maybe also more time for the altcoins, right? So I say, because of the first part that I mentioned, that M2 is leading the way, that it's not exactly 4 years. We just had a coincidence of roughly 4 years, but a global M2 cycle can take longer, and it also can be shorter, right? And it can be slow ramp up, or it can be a steep one, which is why you have different expressions in the parabola in the end, of Bitcoin pumping like hell. We had a crisis, a crash, and then massive money printing in a short time, which led to a massive run up. This time around, we had a crisis, we had crash, but it took a long time for the turnaround, also in global money expansion. So, are you same guy from More Crypto Online channel? You sound exactly like him. No, I'm not that guy, and I don't know this channel. Very, very sorry to disappoint. I'm not running 2 channels. I hope this guy has, though, a lot of subscribers that would give me hope to have the same subscriber amount one day. By the way, guys, smash up the like button here. We have almost 50 people in here at Crypto Morning Coffee. Let's have a deep sip of coffee. But that is my opinion, my analysis of what is going to happen, more or less. I don't know the time frame. I cannot predict the timing on exactly when and where it will happen, right? And of course, there is a chance that it will not happen, that people will never go into altcoins. But I would be cautious with that, because we have seen altcoins already this year pump like hell. Not all of them, but some of them, and that shows that there is a genuine interest to roll funds into altcoins, right? So it would be very weird at a certain point where Bitcoin tops out to say, okay, we are just not going to roll the funds into altcoins. Yeah. Let's see the chat. M2 Bros Unite. GMPH. Here, Sven, time frame is killing me. Yeah, it is. And this is exactly what the market does. The market grinds it out until most people they can't stand it anymore. They can't stomach it anymore. So then they are out, right? We see it now all across the board. Everything's red on the day, except white. White is green. Actually, some coins just popped green a little bit. Yeah, so if we see the whole market is like almost 10, like the altcoins 7, 8, 9% down. There are some, look at this, even in this environment, there are altcoins that just do a random 30%, like Venom, for example. No clue what this is. But this coin, let's check out the chart just randomly. Oh, hey, look at this. So this coin in the midst of nothingness is doing a turnaround, it seems. Okay. Wow. Okay, here we go. About to form inverse head and shoulders or something like that. But this, wow, not too bad of a chart. Actually, that's a chart that would attract me. I really like when charts look like this. You know, boom. But yeah, I don't know what that is, but that looks good. Venom, whatever USDT is that. See you in 4 years, lads? Not really. I would say I already made the point a couple of months ago that I actually think that the 4-year cycle theory is going to go away at some point. Either because the cycle is going to be way shorter or way longer. Before we had the lengthening cycle theory, also that is going to go out. I think with more and more global liquidity, global M2 stretches or short cycles, we will also have that, right? Sean Daly, welcome to the fam. Welcome to the subscribers. Good to see you. Okay, so all in all, coins are really tanking here. Beam 12%, Bread 17% down, Peanut the squirrel 15% down. We have this NXPC 20% up. Also this one, 500 million daily volume. Holy moly. Arweave 10% down, Eigenlayer 15% down, everything's down. Do you think cycles will become longer and longer? No, I think that cycles will act according to monetary policy. So you know these charts where if you go to Twitter, right, and you put in global M2, there is a guy that posts this every day. This guy here, right? Colin Talks Crypto, okay? So this guy basically lives off of the M2 stuff, which is okay, which is fine, right? Where is his last post? There you go. So basically what we see is that we have a high correlation, especially in the 30 to a year time frame, 30 day to a year time frame. Sorry, 3 months to a year time frame. 60 days, 90 days, a year, 1.5 years. Extremely high correlation, 90% between the global M2 versus Bitcoin, right? And that by M2 leading, that means Bitcoin following, and that means what's driving this is the monetary policy worldwide reacting to certain circumstances, right? So in the last years, the dominating factors were a hidden recession. No one wanted to admit the recession. You remember when the US printed 2 quarters of negative GDP, and then the Biden administration came out and said, we are going to redefine what a recession is. 2 quarters back to back is not a recession anymore. So then they just said, okay, we're not in a recession. And then you remember they said, oh, we have inflation now, but it's transitory. And then the transitory inflation wasn't transitory. And then we had the rates up for a long time. And basically a long contraction of global money supply or global dollar supply, leading to a very, very strong dollar. And then Trump coming into office and saying the dollar is way too high, and now the dollar is getting weaker and the inflation or core inflation rate is also dropping. Now, so what we see is that slowly but surely the Fed is going to inject money into the system, leading to this expression here in the chart in the 71-day lead of the M2 still printing new cycle highs. So if this correlation is that high and M2 works in cycles, and we see that Bitcoin bull and bear markets are according to these cycles, then what matters is not whatever invented 4-year time frame, but rather the time frame in which M2 expands and contracts in the world. And this can happen very sharp and drastic in a very short time, or it can happen over a longer time, in my opinion. Okay, so we need Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX to manipulate and pump the market again. Yeah, that's roughly like everyone wanting the bots back on Vivi because it was just pumping the prices also into oblivion, into Valhalla. But quite frankly, we don't need that. We just need that this M2 expansion hits the pockets of the regular people so that they have money left over. The moment that someone has a little bit money left over, they are going to search for investments like this that will give them something back with quick returns, right? So basically moving us also from a risk-off scenario into risk-on, right? Risk-off scenario being where gold pumps. So we see the monetary expansion that we see here is hitting the more risk-averse investment vehicles first, right? So we saw gold all-time high, like every week a new gold all-time high. Also that being that gold is leading to Bitcoin, right? Within the crypto sphere, Bitcoin is the risk-averse mechanism, and everything else is risk-on, including Ethereum, right? So we saw still coins like Solana and Sui holding extremely strong. which if altcoins were dead and whales would believe that, everything would collapse like hell, right? So so that exactly. So silver also running up and so on, as mentioned here. So that is where the money is focused right now, especially with crisis narrative. But what is happening with the stimulus? Yeah, obviously you are doing that to inject it into the economy so that the economy can start rolling again, coming out of the slump, coming out of the recession. And what does it mean? If the economy gets this monetary injection, it will lead to people keeping their jobs, getting a raise, new people coming into job, getting a higher salary, and so on, right? All of that, which means at that point, it's hitting the pockets of the people, but it has a delay, which is one of the reasons, in my opinion, why we have such a 71 days or even longer offset of M2 expansion versus when actually something happens in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin being able to, like, institutions are buying Bitcoin. So in that sense, M2 is hitting the economy. It's quicker for them to buy than for retail. In my opinion, again, nation states, institutions, funds, and so on, they are front-running retail. And at some point, they will be front-running retail in altcoins. We need some things for that. ETFs on the strong altcoins. Ethereum ETF is already there. So there's no reason why Ethereum shouldn't get the love at some point. Solana ETF, SUI ETF, whatever, right? All these ETFs. The SEC putting out the statement, we are expecting it somewhere in July, I think, we've covered it on this channel, that all these ETFs are good to go, right? Altcoin ETFs, mixed ETF, top 10 crypto altcoin ETF, whatever. Every coin in the top 10, top 50, getting an allocation out of a fund like BlackRock, of course that's going to pump the altcoins, right? Chainlink. I mean, why shouldn't it? And then the people that are in it, they are going to take profit, and because everyone's degenerate gambler, they are going to roll those profits from SUI, from Solana, from Ethereum, from XRP, from Chainlink, and so on, into small vehicle coins. Devi, MCATE, maybe OMI, right? All of these coins, of course OMI, right? Every coin that hasn't pumped. Oh, this coin hasn't pumped yet. Let me put a couple of $1,000 in that. Let me put, in terms of institutional wealthy investor, let me roll $1 million or a couple of million into that, pump it like hell, get new retail hands buy it. I mean, come on, that game is so old. Do you really think whales will abandon this game? I don't think so. It would be really weird because they played the market like a fiddle last time. Why shouldn't they do it again? Right? It doesn't make sense. Why should they say, oh no, this time we are not going to play altcoins? We saw it in the meme coin season here. We had hundreds of thousands of stupid meme coins. They still, each meme coin that came out pumped. These degenerates will play the normal market again as well. They will play NFTs as well. I think everything will come back once more. And then if it works out, it will come back another cycle. Until it's either mass adopted or dead, right? Sorry if I've already said this multiple times, but I just jumped on the stream. What's the main cause of this dip? We covered it in the beginning. It's Israel striking Iran. This time is different? Not really, yeah, right, exactly. I would say we can, okay, so we have to look at two things of this. This time is already guaranteed different because we are more than 4 years without the altcoin season, right? So in this case, we are different, right, time frame wise. But I still try to always stick with the least different thing. It's only an offset in the time frame, whereas the claims on Twitter and also here in the chat and everywhere else is this time is different. This time there will be no altcoin season. Okay, so that's a very different approach, right? If that would really happen. You're right, yeah? Let's refrain from this time is different, as usually things aren't different again. Remember also, you remember when we were in Bitcoin, here, right? Here. People said here, at this point, this time is different. Triple top, we're not going to put a new, like, significant all-time high into Bitcoin. That's what people said. Well, look at us now. Now we're fighting at 105,000. This was at 70,000. So, and then we came back and everyone is like, see, we were right, because we had 7 months of absolute boredom, which flooded out half of the people that were newer to the space. But the reality was, and we covered this since years, that we have a massive inverse head and shoulders. We broke out, we retested it, and now we are trying to get past this next overhead resistance that built out. There is no, looking at this price, we are at 104,000. Looking at this price, there's nothing bearish, nothing. We have a macro, completely insane pattern with a price target of roughly 130,000. And we should go there. I don't know, maybe it takes 2 months. Who knows, right? Maybe it is next month. But looking at global M2, rather sooner than later, okay? Looking at this, we had, if we don't want to be at an all-time high within the next couple of weeks, we have to decouple seriously from this and go sideways here instead of following this like always. Yeah, sure, it can be decoupling for 2 to 3 weeks until everyone gets their shit together again. But the way is up. Is it 160K like here? I don't know. Maybe it's like, don't take these price targets too seriously, but take the direction seriously, in my opinion. Okay, so that's what I think is going to happen. Hey G Money, what is going on? Good to see you. This time is definitely different, but like you say, whales will always be whales, and the same tactics will still happen with regard to alts. I agree. Exactly. The same tactics are already happening as alts are being traded with pump and dumps until it's alt season, and then it's massive money making for mainly whales, as most users or most retails will be coming in late and hold too long. It's going to happen again. Very, very likely. Especially because now we also have stuff like Robinhood, where you can buy crypto on Robinhood. You remember, crypto on Robinhood came only when the bear market was already on. People were buying directly into the falling prices and so on. So it didn't really catch on, right? Last cycle. Now this time, Robinhood and all these mainstream platforms, it will come. Yeah. Troy Paris, what is going on? Hello PH, another exciting day in the market. Absolutely, yeah, it's exciting. I second Brush Bremer comment, solid goatee. Thank you very much. Buy, pump, rotate, FUD, repeat. Exactly, yeah. Basically, M2 is describing that way also, right? It says contract, so that economy consolidates, then something breaks, then you have to expand more, so that you have positive GDP numbers. Everyone thinks like your GDP is good. For example, these days I read that the outlook for Germany for the GDP has been revised from 0.8% to 1.5%. Wow, right? But if you think like, okay, GDP is direct representation of prices in the economy for what all goods collectively and services and so on are sold. If you have a 2% inflation and only 1.5% growth, you have a net negative of 0.5% on official numbers. that's still a recession in my books. But okay, nominal growth, you have more. I mean, crypto users are smarter. They know that they have to basically get if you want to purely live off of your salary and not lose purchasing power, you have to get a 8 to 10% raise every year. Then you don't have to invest to preserve your purchasing power. But most of us don't get 8 to 10% per year, which is why to preserve purchasing power into the future, you have to invest. And why doesn't it work? Because of this, right? I mean, money injection, money created out of thin air, injected into the market, creating inflation and debasing what you're getting for your work by raising the prices more than your salary or whatever rises. Hence, everyone who doesn't invest, everything is running away from them. Okay? You can get burned on investing, but if you don't invest, you're burned for sure. You don't have another choice, and you need an investment vehicle that gives you an annual return of 10% or more, which is why people naturally will look for crypto. And this brings me back to the alt season, because if Bitcoin has already pumped so much and is looking towards the end, everyone will be, yeah, but Bitcoin has already pumped and I don't want to wait 4 or 5 years until it does again. So I need something else. And then there are, Solana and this Ethereum and so on, right? So that's where people search returns. This is why the meme coins did pump so much. Mewtwo says that's why we buy Fartcoin and Bonk to hedge against inflation. Exactly. If things already go to shit, might as well with shitcoin, right? Yo, CryptoWig, welcome to the channel as well. Welcome to the fam. First time visitor to the channel, you deserve a like and sub. Great content from what I've seen so far. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good still. Yeah. What is going on here? You buying anything this dip? I wish. I have to pay off a wedding, but otherwise I would be buying as hell. I would be buying Metacade as hell. I would be buying some larger coins maybe. Would be buying more Arweave for sure. I would be buying some more VeChain maybe. Grogu and Pram, yeah. I would be buying some more OMI and VV collectibles probably to bet on the next race, but it's going to collectively pump. Yeah. So in the end, it's more like, are you able to buy the dip? Right? Many people are not. They look at they think the chain that like let's look in the top 50. Like they see, oh my god, it's all down. Here, let's take Sui. Yeah, let's take a coin like Sui. I think it's undisputed that Sui is a great coin, great project, and so on, right? Okay. But here, like going back to the downside, maybe to the support, $2, maybe it will reach it. Could be a good entry, right? Who knows? Bottom line is, people are not buying people literally react like this meme, like when it's like $110,000 Bitcoin is like, oh my god, I'm so stupid, I should have bought more, and then it goes back to 98,000. It's like, I'm not buying that shit. Yeah, so it's really like that, right? Thoughts on Sonic? Is it that? Yeah. So it was previously Phantom. From the Phantom, not the Phantom wallet with PH, but the Phantom token from last cycle. They rebranded. I think it's okay. I mean, it's okay. I think I also have a couple of $100 in Sonic. Yeah, I think they will also do do some axis in the cycle, right? One second, that's not the complete charts. SUSDT, USDT, there you go. All have now this short thing. I think it's does anyone have the long, like any of these have, let's see if FTM USDT is still there as a, yeah, so this was the this was the previous one, right? So they're old, right? You see that they launched, they were around in the last cycle. This chart even goes longer, right? But also here we see like these massive rounding bottoms and so on. And you see we have some pumps here. I think it will react as well, right? Patience, patience, patience. Yes. Well, we'll get there eventually. Exactly. Sol at $100, I'm in. Sol USDT. USDT, man. Yeah. Sol. I'd say 120 for, yeah, lowest point 104. Yeah, 100, it's close to 100 for this trend line. This trend line is coming from the log chart, so this is why it's looking like that. Could be. Could also stay above 120. Who knows, right? We don't know. This is the point. Like, I'm not here as telling you I know exactly what's going to happen, right? I don't know the time frame. I can tell you how long it takes. Could be that altcoin season starts in October with the last leg of Bitcoin. Could be that Bitcoin fires and altcoin season starts January 2026. I don't know, right? No one knows. That's part of the risk curve here. High risk, high return. But you have to see that nowhere else you can do 10x on your money within 5 months or even within 4 years. Nowhere else. Even if you bought in the bear market and it just doesn't move. If you do a 10x on your investment, you are better than 99% of investors afterwards. And you have to also, because Bitcoin is up. Bitcoin is up 6 point something x, 532%, okay? So whatever your an altcoin investment is, it has to outperform that. Otherwise, you could have just bought Bitcoin and you would have been way more chill. So it has to significantly outperform that because of all the years you lost in the stress of your altcoin portfolio, right? So altcoin holders age faster because of the stress, right? Or they have a good price to entry. Let's see. Ordi is placed 210, the ordinals on Bitcoin, right? Yeah, this is a question, right? Are ordinals going to be a thing? I think maybe they are, because of, hey, what if here are order. This is a good chart for ordinals. I mean, we're back to where we were, and this is how it works, right? We did have the here in 2024. This is a nice pump sell-off, right? This is what happens if you don't take profits. Basically, when your RSI goes beyond 80, you can definitely lock in some major profits, right? On a high time frame chart. What does it even have a chart on a monthly? No, it doesn't. So here's the weekly, crucial. The highest time frame chart that gives you a proper RSI, right? It's crucial. So you see here, would you have start locking in profits here? You would have sold into this pump, and then you would have been taking profits all the way up, 10% here, 10% here, 10% here. Then, of course, every time you would bite your lip and say, what the heck is going on? it's going higher and higher and higher, header only held, but then bam, you're down, 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 and here all gains erased from all ordinals, right? So yes, is the entry nice? Yes, if you believe that this is going to be outperformed by a lot, then this is a nice entry, because only going back to all-time highs is more than a 10x. Okay. Thoughts on TOAO? TOAO is great. TOAO is great, but it's already very big, so it depends on the look at this here. TOAO BitTensor plays 31, 3 billion. It's like VeChain, it's a bigger project. Don't expect the same returns as smaller project, but it's a good project. It's a good project. Let's see. What did you think about the news about Coinbase and Base? Oh yeah, we talked about it. I think it's great. It's really good. It's not the same as a Coinbase listing, but it's good. It's awesome. Wait a second. Let's get more chart. I always like when there's more chart. There we go. TOAO. Yeah, so you see that being early on some coins is worth the thing. We have a massive range. I think there's okay, so basically we have this range here, right? This is the macro support for TOAO, and we have this maybe this upper resistance here, slightly lower highs though here, but maybe it's not that, but rather a compression or something like that. Maybe we have to put in the time frame a little bit higher to see it. Yeah, but not really, because these candle bodies are low, like these are all at the same. I would really say, okay, we are basically bouncing here. This is a nice trading range, right? Maybe this goes like this, and at some point we are breaking out, test, and then boom, right? This would be something that would be maybe even really nice to trade on a retest, on a confirmed retest, an entry here, right? And then ride it just for a short time. That could be something, yeah. However, doesn't have to look like this, can also come back first all the way down to 180. Stochastic RSI, bear cross, and momentum say we are going lower first before something happens. This basically started out in the weekly in the crazy RSI. Also here it would have been basically taking profit on this would have been king, right? But I think this is the hardest we can ever learn, to take profit against the feeling. The sky is falling? Yeah, maybe. We will see. We will see. All alts will go 90% down. Remember my words. We are done. Okay. Next target is 40k for BTC. Wow, we have ourselves a bear. I bet, nothing against you, but I bet that you were one of the guys that also said that we are going to go to 12,000 Bitcoin. There were a lot of people that when we were here that said this is not the bottom, we are going to 12k, 10k, maybe even sub 10k, right? Same people that watched Crypto Savvy, all the bear market, because they thought he's right by being perma-bearish, completely wrecked on the sidelines. They are like this this airport meme where people are still on the stair and the plane is already going. Yeah. So I don't know, but people said it also here at 70k. We went all the way back to 49. They said that's it. The bear market is on. This time is different. And then bam, we went all the way to 100k, 106 or so. And then we came back and people said that's it. People get wrecked. 74k, boom. And now we're back up again. Have printed a new all-time high at 100 and what is that, like 111, just right out of the oven. The trend is your friend until the end, and the indicators just don't show a bear market yet. Okay, so I'm not calling a bear market, and certainly I'm not calling 40,000, because 40,000 is below the mining price. Below where, like 40,000 is where all the miners would already have turned a long time off the mining rigs and use the capital to buy Bitcoin. So I don't think so, man. I think that in a bear market there's a very good chance to go to 60k, but 40k? I don't think so, man. I could see that. I could see 60k. Like we did here, right? So the all-time high was 20,000. We went to 15,500. Here the all-time high was 69,000. So I could see us going to all the way to like 60,000 in the next bear market. Yeah. But this is the reason, like the half of Twitter is like this, right? Basically saying, oh, we are done, altcoins not coming back, and so on. It's fearful that it might not happen. The victory, $20. Wow, thank you very much, Troy. Actually, I can see that now in the chat. These super sticker emojis, whatever, the victory stuff. Nice. Thank you very much, man, for the donation here. This price here feels like BTC at 30k last bull. Then we went to 69. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of similar. Feels the same. Your favorite small cap AI coins? Mine is TARS AI. Do I even have one? Like small cap? I don't know, but congratulations, like TARS AI, we have to check it out. Gbob Scrumpknick says, the sky is falling over reactions. Money printer is about to go burr here in the US, and missiles don't change the fact that fiat is dying. Just don't over leverage and buy the dips. Very, very rational, reasonable approach. I fully agree. Yeah. Exactly. The M to the money printer, that is, we are going to stick with that. As the correlation is high, we see Anon AI. Sounds good. So here we have the AI place. Yeah, I still think that big thing will be AI, gaming, RWA. Still the big three, and then we'll see what else can do. It's like all this tokenization of real world assets, really big trend. VeChain has massively shifted in that direction to RWA, so I really like that for VeChain. If gaming goes nuts, it will pull the NFT space up. Because naturally, so the step is not far from blockchain gaming to NFTs. Is it possible to fall much down from now? Yeah, possible is everything, but quite frankly, we see it already. It's not that we have crashed to 80k. We are above 100k, let's put it that way. We have buyers stepping in already. See the candlestick here. Yeah, it's not like, of course, if they would nuke each other now, then that's a different story. Then we can fall much more, right? But that's then black swan territory. You can't predict the black swan. It is what it is. That's why it is a black swan. You just can't predict it. Usually you go to the lake and it's full of white swans. They are predictable. Yeah. Sorry, I am from Romania. This is the reason why I am writing wrong. No problem. I think you're writing well. I can read and understand everything, so that's fine, right? No worries, I'm from Germany. I also have an accent, you know. So there we go. But on that note, guys, for today, smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on. We have covered a lot of stuff today. We have covered Israel and Iran getting it at each other, the oil price going nuts. We have covered global M2 and why the altcoin season is going to come back. We have covered, looked at a couple of altcoins. We've looked at the Coinbase. We've looked at Shopify embracing crypto, Brazil making a move, and so on. We have covered a lot of stuff. Traditional gold miners going into Bitcoin mining. So a lot of things are in motion. So make sure to be subscribed for the next one. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I catch you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one, everyone, and bye.